Night of total terror. Night of the living dead. The dead who live on living flesh. The dead whose haunted souls hunt the living. The living whose bodies are the only food for these ungodly creatures. Night of the living dead. A bizarre adventure in fear. An experience in shock, more shattering than your strangest nightmare. Night of the living dead. A night with the dead who cannot die. A night of total terror. Night of the living dead.
Hey, you out there, happy Halloween! Just to warm things up, here's director George Romero on shooting Creepshow, coming up next.
Stephen King and I met when Warner Brothers introduced us, thinking that they might be able to make a film version of Salem's Lot. The project blew up, so we decided, let's try to make our own new original thing. So because we had talked so much about comic books, EC comic books particularly, Steve said, well, let's do a format like that. And the next morning, he came down to the hotel and said, I got the title. It's called Creepshow. He had a couple of old stories that he had either never published or that were beginnings of busted novels. And so he sort of threw those in and had the screenplay done in an unbelievably short amount of time. Well, all throughout the film, we wanted to create the look of a comic book. And so we would frame it occasionally and use the little yellow things that said meanwhile or at the university. Or
Now, I love this movie, from Leslie Nielsen years before The Naked Gun to Stephen King and his annoying fungus problem. But my favorite segment is, they're creeping up on you.
It was very difficult being around these cockroaches. They were everywhere, and we had to have them on him, had to work with them all the time. First of all, try to get 500,000 cockroaches. New Yorkers might say, I can get them for you in a New York minute. But we had these entomologists from the Museum of Natural History in New York actually went to Trinidad into caves and brought back barrels of cockroaches, including these monsters. I think they're called Blaberus gigantea. They had their own trailer. We had to keep it sort of humidity and climate temperature controlled. So we needed to have the set completely sealed off the whole time.
And did Hollywood spring for a slow cruise back to Trinidad for all the multi-legged stars?
No, actually, I think the health department or somebody made us exterminate them. And so in the end, that scene where they're all in his little hermetically sealed room there is where they died. I'm George Romero. Sit back, grab your favorite creep, because Creepshow is next on Cinemax.